Cripping started in my neighborhood, but it evolved around the country. It's Crips in every city in the United States, even in Japan, China, Jamaica, and Belize.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
And I'm this for today. I'm glad we got a blue couch.
Yeah, that's right.
For today, I'm glad we got a blue couch.
Yeah, got my blue on.
Yeah,
got my blue book.
Come on now. Come
got
on
my
now.
blue glasses.
Come on.
Man, stop. Quit playing, man.
Man, we got him in the building, man. OGLA Ron, man. For those that are deaf, dumb, stupid, living on the rock, may not know about you. Please tell them, reintroduce yourself, tell them who you are, and tell them what it is that people may know you from in this city.
Well, my name is Rich Rolling Ragtop, Rolls Royce Rollers Ron. That's what they call me in LA, but you can call me Ron. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, between Florence, Hooper, Central, and Gage, pretty much the heart of South Central Los Angeles. And I did 33 years in the feds, and I've been out a year and a half, and I got my own YouTube, and just blessed to be here with the brother from Real Street Stars. Real Life Street Stars.
What's the name of your YouTube channel, real quick?
OGLA Ron. That's what you look me up on YouTube. Story time with OGLA Ron.
Well, we about to go through some story times right now, man. First and foremost, I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you blessing the couch. What I know is that there seems to be a loss in history. You know, we do this thing called Real Life Street Stars,
right? Where
we actually try to bring real life street stars on this couch. People that actually been in these streets, live the realest of lives, and actually live to tell about it, because you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. So for those that don't know, and again, you got to get your history, because, you know, I think you might be 50 years into this, what they call cripping. Exactly. You're 50 years into this thing. So a lot of people don't know the history of how it started. I want you to do two things for me. I want you to speak on being in South Central LA, being out there, as far as how it started back then, but also how it even got over to Fort Worth, how the history of the Bloods, the Crips early on, because it seems to be, I don't want to get lost in translation. And I think you have some knowledge that needs to be put up on the people. So if you don't mind, let's start with the West Coast, as far as your history, as far as how the Crips, the Bloods, the you know, what we consider OG Cripping, how that came about from your eyes.
Well, actually, I'm from a neighborhood that's where we call East Coast Crips, but we're on the West Coast. Raymond Washington grew up in my neighborhood. He got killed in my neighborhood. And I was just so happened to be a youngster that looked up to Raymond. I looked up to a lot of brothers in my community. I looked up to Cassis. I look up to a lot of homies in my neighborhood. I look up to Beaver from Kitchen. I look up to a lot of guys in my neighborhood, because Cripping started in my neighborhood, but it evolved around the country. It's Crips in every city in the United States, even in Japan, China, Jamaica, and Belize.
For your knowledge, it started
on 70. You can say it started on 74th or 73rd or 68 in Hooper, or either, because Raymond lived it on 78, but it pretty much started in that area. It ain't just like he started a fire, but he did. But, you know, he started a big thing. He used to be at the Real Rogers Park a long time ago, and it used to be Watts Stack. Used to throw concerts up there, and I want to give a shout out to all the boys from Watts and just the whole Watts period, because that's our community, and there's a lot of things going to Watts Tower. You know, Nipsey was kind of like went to school over there. But we got a lot of guys that come out of our neighborhood, Egyptian Lover, you know, a lot of rappers and stuff like that. Fat Larry out of he was with, don't even worry about it. But yeah, man, I just like to talk about gangs in my neighborhood. We all started off around the same time. And it was like years before me, but it ended up spreading all the way across the country.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how quickly, from your eyes, did it spread? In what ways did it spread? Was it through the drug game? Was it through movies and entertainment? Was it through the music?
But actually, majority of the guys from Los Angeles is actually from Louisiana or Texas or Arkansas. So every summer we go back, or what summers we did go back, or we always had an auntie come out there. That's how it got back and forth. So when crack came out, you would call down and say, what y'all doing there? And they say, well, we doing this. And you would go down there because you can sell it cheap. You can make more money in the country than in the city. So everybody had it in the city. So we start spreading out across the country.
It's interesting. We had a Freeway Ricky Ross up here, and he had mentioned that he's from Texas.
He's from Tyler, Texas.
Yeah, he's from Tyler, Texas, and then went out to the West Coast and jumped it up. As you mentioned, was a lot of people from outside coming in? Just
well, you can tell by your neighbors. One set of my neighbors was from Arkansas. Another set was from Indiana. But everybody from LA, they pretty much tell you where they came from. Because, they just didn't born there. A lot of them came there and raised their families.
From your knowledge, when you first get put down on the set and you first start a gang, did they give you guidelines as far as history of why the gang started? Like what?
Well, no, not really. What they tell me was that when Raymond Washington was in the youth authority or in the pen, the guys from the Bay Area, because all the state prisons is in the Bay Area, so they had a foothold because it's their backyard, the BGFs and stuff like that. So they didn't want to give Raymond a piece of the pie. But so many people from LA was going to jail into the Bay Area that they didn't let Raymond do anything. So Raymond started his own thing. And that's how Crips got so big, because if you deny somebody something, that make them want to push even harder.
Was the Crips the biggest gang in LA? And how close were the Bloods possibly taking over?
Wow. You know what's so crazy, right? When I was growing up, you had a thing called the 60 Outlaws. They 5'9", pretty much the area now, but back in the days, they had a big blood community. They had the big outlaws and the baby outlaws, and we couldn't go past Gage because, the Slauson South Bethune Park used to be the Slausons, but it evolved to the Bloods, and then eventually Big Quake came up there one night and they took over the whole park, and that's why Crips been over there ever since.
Shout out Big Quake.
Oh yeah, Big Quake, yeah.
Shout out Big Quake. But what was the rules, man? If ever a Crip wanted to holler at a Blood female or a Blood want to holler at a Crip female, from school or whatever, what was how did it play out, normally?
Well, it's all Crips girls want to test the Blood flavor and the Crip girl want to test the other flavor, you know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of guys that got Damo girlfriends, baby mamas and stuff like that. It's just, I think it's just the adrenaline that you sneaking into another hood, messing with the enemy's wife, enemy's girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's like war. How many babies you gonna have over there? And because when I was in federal prison, a lot of guys would come up to me and say, "Hey, Fish, ain't you from East Coast?" I'm like, "Yeah." He say, "My daddy from East Coast," but they Bloods. Yeah, it's crazy.
From your memory, what was the biggest either situation that happened, whether it's a fight, shootout, maybe at a school, kids involved, picnic, funerals? What's the biggest situation for you to say, like, man, this thing is really, just looking at the black community, now that you have wisdom now, looking back like, man, this thing really was out of hand back then?
Well, one of the biggest things that happened in my community was I grew up in front of Goodyear tires. Yeah. And when they moved to Africa because of cheaper labor, all the jobs left. And it left a big old hole in people being employed. And that gang just started from there. I don't know how it happened, but I know all of a sudden it was so much business around Goodyear that when they left, it was just everybody with a free fall because people moved there to actually work there.
So Goodyear leaving left that big of a void.
Yeah, it left a big void of jobs. And then a lot of guys that have moved there, came there from Louisiana, whatever, it just opened up a big old floodgate because we was all youth and the daddies wasn't working or a lot of them moved and stuff, but we was all there in that congested area from downtown to Carson, and it started a big old thing because we couldn't move. We couldn't live on the west side at first. We all lived on the east side. It was called a red lighting.
Yeah. And
after that, that's how so many blacks got over there.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.